Okay, so it's time to debunk Joe Rogan and Terrence Howard again. Because Terrence Howard was on Joe Rogan last year. I don't know if he's lying or just delusional, but he's saying stuff like he remembers being born. So we're going to go over that statement and let's break it down from an acupuncture physician point of view and from a regular human point of view.
How did you get started with all this?
I didn't come into this world the way
Okay, I don't want to be that guy, but what's up with the headphones and the hoodie around the headphones? And okay, sorry. Okay.
everybody else does, I don't think. I used to think that everybody had the similar experience, but like if I asked you, what was your first memory in life? What would it be?
I don't think I know.
My first memory was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling.
Okay, yeah, get ready for this because this is where he starts spewing some delusional stuff. Okay, I don't like calling people a liar. I don't like calling people delusional. But the thing Terrence Howard is gonna say next is gonna blow your mind away.
You hit the bottom and you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first memory, but I didn't wake up here. I was inside my mother's womb. And I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb.
So, did you hear that? Mr. Terrence Howard is basically saying that he remembered being inside his mother's womb about 6 months old, inside his mother's womb. Yeah, I'm here to tell you that he's either lying or delusional, or maybe he's doing some big acting role in like a life acting role and tricking all of us. Because I cannot believe in this day of age you have a known actor like Terrence Howard. I like his movies. I think he's a good actor, but he also thinks he thinks he's smarter than Einstein and all the great minds that ever lived and are living.
And I'm like, okay, don't forget I'm here. Okay. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget.
So he's saying that when he was in his mother's womb, apparently he knew the full language. He knew English perfectly inside his mother's womb, 6 months inside his mother's womb. Okay. And he was conscious enough to talk to himself, saying, okay, he's here. Don't panic, don't panic. Who believes this stuff? I know some of y'all don't believe in science and facts, but even at some point, you got to say this is BS, total BS. Why? It's physically impossible. Your brain isn't fully developed at 6 months inside your mother's womb. What is he talking about?
You go to sleep, you wake up again. Now something's moving in front of you, and you're like, oh, that's my friend. But I had a different name for it. I didn't know it was my hand, but I knew I had a title for it. Go back to sleep, all of those things. Then ultimately you get ready to come out. I remember all of that.
You remember coming out?
Remember being compressed.
But you don't remember coming out. It is impossible. Terrence Howard, you're making this up, bro. You're making this up. I don't know what's I don't know what's going on with you, man. This is ridiculous, man. Sorry. You're allegedly making this up. How about that? You're allegedly making this up. Because and Joe Rogan's like, oh, you remember coming out of your mother's womb. Again, Joe Rogan, I don't know if you are that dumb or just placating him. I don't know what you're doing, Joe Rogan, but this is not cool what you're doing, right? Because Joe Rogan, you're definitely known for spreading misinformation and disinformation when it comes to medical stuff and other stuff too. Why are you entertaining this guy saying that he remember being born in his mother's womb?
And you want to panic, but you're flooded with like some serotonin and dopamine to where you feel relaxed. You go right back to sleep. You remember being born. I remember being circumcised. I remember the whole nine. And the proof of it was when.
Okay, so my question is, Mr. Howard, if you had perfect English inside your mother's womb, so that means when you came out, you should have been speaking already, correct? According to you, you remember being born, you remember being in your mother's womb. According to you, you had a full sense, you had a full vocabulary inside your mother's womb. So by your definition, by your logic, when you came out of your mother's womb, you should have been able to speak perfect English already, right? Oh, even if your vocal cords and stuff wasn't formed yet properly, you should be able to at least communicate using sign language or something, right? Something, because according to you, you had a full language inside your mother's womb, a full understanding of the English language. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is what the world came to, y'all. This is bad. You know, free speech is free speech is interesting. Because in America, free speech is real. You can say whatever you want, no matter how idiotic it sounds, no matter how stupid it sounds or ignorant it sounds. But Joe Rogan has a huge platform with millions of followers. And he allows this guy to come on his podcast and just talk crazy. Talk crazy. I don't want to think Joe Rogan's fans are this dumb. I don't want to think that his fans actually believe this guy saying that he remembered being born. He remembered talking to himself inside his mother's womb. Full English vocabulary. So by your logic, you should be able, once you came out the womb, you should have been able to talk perfectly with the doctors. Hey, what you doing, doc? How's it going, doc? How come you don't have any stories of you saying that, huh? How come there isn't any record of you talking when you was 1 day old? According to you, you understood the English language perfectly because you were talking to yourself, having a monologue of yourself. Oh, what's this in my hand? It's my friend. It's a full language. This is sad, y'all. This is sad. As an acupuncture physician, I gotta say, I'm very disappointed in Joe Rogan, but at this point, Joe Rogan does not surprise me anymore. I used to be a big fan of Joe Rogan because I was a big UFC fan, not anymore. And Joe Rogan just went down the rabbit hole of stupidity. You know, back in the day, Joe Rogan used to have real guests on, real scientists, real professionals. Now he has wax, he has anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, all this crazy stuff. Let me know below what you think about this.